Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the another episode of Evolve and Execute with CS Rajiv Bajaj, your business transformation consultant, startup coach and mentor, and strategic advisor. This show is dedicated to driving growth by navigating real challenges with real solutions. And today's episode is titled From Survival to Scale, Empowering India's MSME Revolution. So India's MSMEs are not just businesses, they are an economic backbone, employing millions and contributing significantly to our GDP. Yet they continue to face persistent barriers like limited financial access, delayed payments, regulatory burden, tech adoption struggles, and workforce capability challenges. So we are here to decode how can MSME evolve from surviving to scaling, what reforms, strategies, and mindset shift are needed to unlock India's next wave of enterprise growth. And to uncode all these things, we have with us, you know, Mr. Devesh Rastogi, a senior industry leader with extensive contribution to India's MSME landscape. His work in trade associations, policy advocacy, and grassroots business development gives him a unique lens into challenging the opportunities and looking at the challenges both with the similar scale and of course he can guide us and all our MSMEs about his journey and how we can evolve in those challenges. So welcome, sir, to Evolve and Execute with Rajiv Bajaj.
Thank you, Rajiv
Sir,
ji. Here.
yeah, can you share a little bit about your journey and how the purpose-driven work which you are doing with Indian MSMEs?
Thank you, Rajiv ji, for having me here on your program. It's a real pleasure. And journey of MSME is always the longer the journey, the longer the adventures are, as
Ji,
everybody knows. So the things become very, very interesting and sometimes very challenging with the ups and downs of the businesses or the trade cycles you have in your business. And if I talk of the MSME today in India, it is not a new word. But recently, for last 10 years, with the new government coming into limelight, the MSMEs and startups have got a lot of focus. Earlier also MSMEs were there, the definitions were there, some guidelines were there, but recently they have got the focus only with the new government. And a new ecosystem is being now evolved for the MSME factories and MSME units, especially when the Viksit Bharat target of 2047. If the government targets for 30 trillion of economy and 2 crore of employments every year, except for the MSME, I don't think any sector can deliver that. Large industries take long time to installation, long time to deliver. MSME takes the things in a much, much faster pace. And the employment in the MSME is much, much easier and more productive also, I will say. The more of the technology in the large sector, the less employment is there. But in MSME, especially if you see the programs like in UP, in my state, one district, one product, 1.0, and then new initiative is being announced, one district, one product 2.0, where the new products will be added. So a lot of MSME in the micro sector is coming up. And another thing which one has to understand in the MSME, micro is small and medium. Even though they are taken into one breath as MSME, they are the three totally distinct animals.
absolutely.
Their requirement, they are the purpose, they are the entrepreneurship, everything is totally different. So the government has also been, we have been talking to the government has also been thinking about having the more policies towards the medium scale, because right now whatever the policies and the business is being focused, that is on the micro and the small. And with the new definition of MSME, where the turnover targets are going up to 500 crores, a lot of things are going to change.
Ji,
And similar things are going to have into financial sector. So when we talk of MSME, we should look into micro, small, and medium, all the three aspects differently. Their
Absolutely.
requirement, their contribution to the society has to be also looked into little different manner.
I
So this
truly
is
agree
what
with you,
my
sir.
perception is of MSME is, and definitely we look forward for growing the MSME in country as it's an essential part to for the development of the country.
Very well said, sir. Very well said. One of the main barrier for the growth of MSME is the access to finance and working capital stability. So, sir, when we look at this aspect, the affordable credit remains the greatest obstacle for MSMEs, whether it is a micro or small or even medium. So, what are the root causes behind this finance gap, and how can it be systematically solved? Any new ideas you can share with us?
Rajiv, as I said, micro, small, and medium, their financial requirements are also very different, and also the approach of the government towards funding these three different segments in MSME is very different. If you talk of the micro, lot of state government policies are there who are available through banks or through the institutions, through the subsidies. Number of ways they are doing it in a different programs, and where like the Yuva program and the different schemes are there for the funding of 5 lakh, 10 lakhs, or even the less than that. So their fundings is based on target, and I think it is somehow easy. The main problem what I see in the funding is for the small size, not for the micro, but for the small. Their requirement today, if you see the level of the small and the type of the targets what government is thinking in the small, is running into now few crores, starting from say if they 50 lakhs to 2 crore or 3 crore or 5 crores. So government has got two, three schemes which have been basically designed to fund a small segment. One of them important scheme is credit guarantee schemes. But the another problem which is coming into credit guarantee scheme, and it's a very, very serious problem where we have to look into it as a government, as an institution, and also as an industry. If you go to the bank with a project for a small and apply for the CGTMS funding, if you don't have a background or don't have other businesses to support that, you don't get finance. And the private banks, they just don't finance any CGTMSE till the time you have built up some business.
Absolutely.
So the
I
purpose
agree.
of having a CGTMSE loan is totally drained out. The government banks, somehow they are doing it, but their aggression and their even their portals doesn't support the technology what they are giving for application of applying the money is not supporting the new companies.
Yeah.
If you go for the say government portal of 59 minutes, which was highly publicized by the government, it will immediately start asking you about your previous turnover. If you don't have a previous turnover, it will not move forward.
Yeah.
So again, new startups and the new MSMEs, CGTMES is not working very well.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of, I say, mental blockade with the bankers on funding the CGTMSE. So if the person is doing well, he has got other businesses, then CGTMSE may not be only route available for him. So CGTMSE scheme definitely has to be looked into and has to be made more friendly for the buyer, for the people who are going to take that.
Yeah.
That is one of the feature. Secondly, the margin money structure into CGTMSE, banks are asking 50-50 ratio, which is another very big challenge for any MSME.
Yeah.
If he is having that kind of money, I think he
Why
will not
would
have
he
to go
come?
for that CGTMSE schemes and other schemes. To
Absolutely.
go for a crore of
Absolutely.
rupees project and you
Ji.
have a 50 lakhs in your pocket, I don't think the scheme is going to work very effectively. So these two, three
Absolutely.
very practical aspects are there towards the CGTMSE schemes. But
Ji.
government has put in a lot of money over there. Year before last year in the budget of 2023-24, 9,000 crores were given for that scheme.
Ji.
And the credit guarantee fee has also been reduced a lot. I remember 5 years back it was 2%, 2.5% for a funding of 1 crore. Today it has been reduced to 1%.
जी,
And limit also has been increased up to 10 crores. But one has to see how many people are getting it and what are the circumstances and what are the situations where one is getting the loans.
absolutely, absolutely. So delayed payments also worsen the financial stress, and despite the legal framework being there, why the enforcement is still weak. I know MSMEs are supposed to receive the money in 45 days. Nobody bothers. In fact, I have seen people pressurize them that if you are a registered MSME, I'll not take goods from you. So all those challenges are adding to the cash flow situation, bad situation for MSMEs. So what do you think about it?
I think the delayed payment situation and the act amendment in the Income Tax Act is itself a very interesting situation. The
जी,
assessment of the 45 days outstanding is only done at the end of the year,
जी,
not in the middle of the year. So you can play around middle of the year and at the end of the year you can correct your books,
yeah,
make the payment or correct your books, whatever you like to do. Second
जी,
thing, when the traders were included into MSME category, that was done only for the specific purpose, and that was to give them funding from the MSME sector.
जी,
That started into COVID when the lot of requirement of the funds was there. So everybody has got now two companies. One is a manufacturing company and one is a trading company. Trading company doesn't fall into the ambit of the amendment into Income Tax Act, and the 45 days criteria does not apply to them, even though they are registered as MSME. So either the buying of the corporate is shifted towards the traders instead of the manufacturing,
जी,
or they prefer to go to buy from somebody in the market instead to go for the original MSME manufacturer. That is one agony over there. Second agony for that scheme is 45 days criteria does not apply to the government, because government
जी,
companies who are paying income tax, they fall into it. But the main buyer is the government departments. With the
जी,
introduction of GEM, last year turnover of GEM was somewhere around 4.5 lakh crores,
yeah,
and 60% of it was coming through MSMEs.
जी,
And their payment cycle, with my own experience, I can tell you, is not less than 90 days.
जी,
Even though GEM guidelines says 45 days and 15 days cycle, and 90% payment within 15 days once the product is received, is not being implemented, is not happening at all. And
mhm,
practically payments are coming in 90 days.
जी,
If this payment cycle is taken care of, and you say the 90 days funding cycle, payment cycle of the GEM, government payments, on GEM portal itself is reduced to 15 days, you can see how much money can come into the market and how much money will be available. And MSME may not be required even to go to the banks for funding. So it may not even require to go to the bank for the funding,
जी,
and a lot of fund will be available for the working capital. So first
जी,
correction
जी,
for the payments has to be done from the government side, and the government departments have to be bought into. One more thing I will tell you about it. GEM is the offshoot of DGSND.
जी,
The procurement was done from the DGSND. And DGSND has a system where the buyer going for the purchase through DGSND has to deposit the money into one account which was kept separately for these purposes. And as the product was supplied and the delivery certificate was deposited into DGSND, 90% payment was released immediately.
जी,
So when the GEM has been an offshoot of DGSND, that practice which was there for the payments into DGSND, that should be brought into GEM as far as possible and sooner as possible. It's a
जी,
very, very important. A lot of requirement for the funds will reduce once that money flows.
yeah, yeah. So government is always trying to do so many things, and especially you are in UP. So UP government, I know that they are giving 40% subsidy for generator. in electronic sector, 25% land subsidy is there, stamp duty exemption is there, 15% subsidy on plant and machinery purchase is there. So many subsidies are there. Still, I come across MSME players who are not aware about these schemes. So, what do you think? Is there need for education of MSMEs and make them aware about these schemes? Like cluster scheme is also sometimes people are not aware of. So, what do you think about this?
Rajiv ji, schemes are there and they are being publicized.
Ji,
But getting that money and
ji,
how to approach that getting the money, that is a cumbersome project even today.
mhm,
Nivesh Mitra portal is there. Some other portals are also there. Single window
ji,
is also there. You go and register your project. You start putting your all requirements in one place. But
ji,
still, efficacy of that has to be. I think they have got some question mark, and some
mhm,
work more has to be done over there. Secondly, most of these schemes, which are coming even through the Nivesh Mitra portal and other portals from the different state governments, they are still coming from the banks.
ji,
So district industry offices, they are recommending the projects to the bank. And then they are fighting with the banks for getting the money disbursed.
ji,
Instead of you fighting to the bank, they become agent for you to fight with the bank. But reality of the CGTMSC and the other MSME funding again comes back, and it is taking a hell of a long time. What we require over there is a plug and play structure.
ji,
You put it, you put your application, and things should happen in a time barred way. 24 hours for this, 24 hours for this, 24 hours for this.
ji,
Otherwise, anybody who is taking up the file, he should be held responsible for it.
ji, ji.
Without answerability, these
Right.
portals, you keep on filing the documents, they are not working.
I agree with you. So that's why people have to run to consultants and other people to get things done. So I fully understand and appreciate that, sir. So let's look at the compliance aspect. There is a lot of complexity. Often, MSMEs are pushed back because they don't have that kind of confidence that they'll be able to meet all the compliance requirements. So how can we simplify regulations while encouraging formalization of the regulations?
So compliance, we have to see in two, three different ways altogether. One is putting the industry, one is running the business, and then one is taxation part of it.
Okay.
Out of the GST has become a very, very serious issue on compliance.
Right.
So first part, when you go for the putting up industry and you face the compliances, I think government has to little improve it a little. Lot of things have been done over there. I will not say not they have not been done. Things have to go on a declaration basis.
Ji.
I will give you example of a say pollution clearance. Not every industry is polluting industry. And like the industry I come from, IT and electronics, we don't have a pollution. It's only
Ji.
of assembling or soldering or SMT. We don't do anything in pollution. So if I give a certificate that my industry is a non-polluting industry, it should be accepted and clearance should be coming just from the return mail.
Ji.
And you can do subsequent inspection or verify my claim. That can be done subsequently also. But pushing the industry towards the business, that will be much, much faster.
Right.
Second problem comes into the labor laws. People don't want to get registered into labor laws in ESI and Provident Fund because once you register there, it's very difficult to come back out of it.
Ji.
And if you don't register, the registration delays your implementation of the project.
Absolutely.
So labor laws have to be, lot of has been done. I have not gone through the entirely new act which has come 3, 4 days back, but few things have been done. But I think for the MSME, separate guidelines have to be there, which you go on a portal, make a compliance on a declaration basis, or on and get us approvals, put up your industry. Then subsequently, once inspection can be done to verify your certifications, self certifications, and other things. But all these process should become much, much faster. Another problem starts when we start set up the factory and start running the business. Still, the inspector Raj, even though it has been reduced, is still there. I think MSME has to be put on the self compliance and on the self certification for the round the year and for the continuity.
जी,
Inspectors should not be allowed to visit the factories. If any complaint is there, definitely that can be put into the portal and the replies can be taken. Without any complaint, inspectors should not come over the factories on a periodic basis.
जी,
That is the biggest hindrance for the compliance, I will tell you. Even I want to comply for the certain rules and certain guidelines and make my life easy. These
जी.
hindrances, they don't allow me to comply with the things.
I
So if,
fully agree with you.
so if
Yeah,
the compliance is made more practical and more approachable, I think government laws will be complied much easier. They will be complied more, and everybody in the society will be benefited out of it.
exactly. That is, you
And
have
Inspector Raj is one thing, 90% we have gone away, whatever 10% is there. I think that has to be stopped immediately.
absolutely, absolutely. Like in income tax, faceless assessments and things like that.
And
We have
things
to
in
do
into income
many,
tax, I am now
yes,
64 and I have seen lot of time into business where we have to go to the department for taking up our refunds and be in the queue
जी,
for months. Today,
जी,
everything,
जी,
lot of
जी.
things are happening out in auto mode. Same thing has
Absolutely,
to happen into GST.
absolutely.
GST system was there to support the industry and the business and make the things easier. I think
जी,
it has worked other way around. The
जी,
number of notices, the number of things which are happening from GST, they have to
yeah,
happen. Government has taken a very welcome step for making correction into GST rate, but making corrections into GST process is yet to be done.
yeah.
And
And
there lot of easy things can be done, which will make life simple and easier
absolutely,
without any
absolutely.
problems.
So so, sir, future-ready MSME is something which is not a slogan. Of course, there's a lot being done here with technology and skill development. So, how technology adoption is no longer optional? How can small businesses make this leap of, confidence by putting their efforts on technology affordably and confidently? So, can you throw some light on this, sir?
See, adoption of technology is not a choice now. From the management to production, everywhere you have to equip yourself. But leaving aside the electronic and the industry I come, availability of the technology and to create a world-class project is a difficult thing. Suppose if somebody is going into the business of textile or somebody is going to the business of, say, furniture. I'm talking of the product which are highly importing. They're importing a lot. Most of the furniture in the country is now imported. So technology is available worldwide, and we can have the some ecosystem where the technology banks can be created.
जी,
Recently, I visited one of the triple ITs uh, for the purpose of getting certifications and the ecosystem for the testing of the benchmarking of the MSME products.
जी,
They have got a huge infrastructure. IITs and the triple ITs, they've got a huge number of research lying and pending with them. There's no takers for them. Lot of patents they have acquired for the different products which are required for the market and for the society. But they are not finding any takers for that. So if a data bank is provided in the MSME industry and that is categorized to electronics, to furniture, to different industries, and different patents and the different technologies are structured over there as a library, I think MSME can be benefited through them and ultimate purpose for getting and making a world-class product and MSME exporting to the world. That will happen. If you see the Z certification scheme, I think most of the MSMEs have stuck up into bronze. Upscaling to silver and the other category, higher categories, has become a challenge for them.
जी,
And that is because of the technology issue. We have got so many hands we have to export anyhow.
Yeah, absolutely. So skills shortage are a daily pain point, and so how can industry and academia and government collaborate to build a future-ready MSME workforce?
So what I started, where I started from, to have a technology and on the libraries, on the digital libraries where one can select the project, one can select the thing, and he can connect to the person who has made the patent, who has made the technology.
जी,
The problem of skilling of laborers and will solve, I think, greatly. Both the industry and the person who are behind the technology can put that training put together and make the people skilled on that. That is not going to be a very big challenge in India.
जी,
But reaching to the technology and to the people who are behind that technology is a more important thing which has to be done, and it is easy to implement.
जी.
One technology library at MSME portal and all IITs and IITs connecting to it. I think a lot of things can be there.
I fully agree with you. So I think another very important challenge is enabling the market expansion and competitiveness. So many MSMEs are production ready but market restrained because they can not compete with the global market, and also they don't have access to the domestic and global market. So what do you think? What are your tips for the MSME entrepreneurs?
So we have to take the market into three different parts now.
जी,
One, we talked about GEM, 4.5 lakh crore business, 50 over 50% coming out of from MSE, MSME. And good thing about the GEM is it is not dependent on the brand.
जी,
It is depending on the specifications of the product or the detailing of the product. And over 2 lakh MSMEs are now registered with the GEM. So one
जी,
space government has very carefully and very good manner, I will say, has been created for the MSME production. Second is the production for the market that goes into the retail market and also for the e-commerce.
जी,
What my experience has been for the e-commerce is, suppose some industry is there. Suppose I am there and I launch my brand as Devesh Rastogi and I put up a portal, deveshrastogi.com. I will not get that credibility.
जी,
And buyer will not buy from me because he doesn't know Devesh Rastogi, number one. He doesn't believe on the product what I'm making and what I'm showing. And he doesn't believe on the logistics also. One way of doing it is a certification process for the e-commerce website who are working away from the marketplaces. Like if you go for
जी,
the Amazon and Flipkart and other marketplaces, they give some guarantee of the product replacement and some trust is created between the buyer and seller through those agencies, even though those agencies are very expensive. Today commissions are ranging from 10 to 20%. But if it's the devesh.rastogi.com, I get advantage of certification from a credible agency. The customer will believe in me and I will be able to sell as a MSME.
जी,
The product will become more affordable and more opening of the market will be done for the MSMEs. That is for the e-commerce side. On the channel side, I will say retail or brick and mortar, whatever you say, we need to have a structure of channel finance
जी,
because somebody needs to put up a lot of money into the market for distribution of the product. So once the distributor is there or the retailer is there and he gets a channel financing on the MSME funding, he will not shy away from keeping this inventory. And the inventories
जी,
will, when the product is there on the counter, it will sell. Today's channel finance structure is there, but it is mostly for the large companies and the corporates. So
जी,
if you create a channel finance structure, marketing will be easy. Accreditation of the e-commerce portals from the MSME side or for anybody who wants to get it product accredited. That will also add a lot of benefit to the customer, consumer, and the industry. See, Indian industry with 140 crore, 150 crore people now is a huge consumer base and
जी,
everything sells. Market is different for everybody, customer is different, but everything
Yeah,
sells in the market.
absolutely.
So reaching
I
to the right
agree.
kind of market with the right kind of product and putting up a proper logistical chain, I think that will help on that.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you. Sir, can the MSME clusters become a global champion for Make in India? So, what's your thought on that?
So only challenge for MSME to become global is a quality product. Producing a quality product which is accepted worldwide. And it is not a difficult thing. Machinery
Okay.
equipment is available, is not available, it can be imported. Technology is available. Just to have a mindset and a quality control structure. I was having one discussion within our industry where a lot of Indian MSME have come for the electronic manufacturing.
जी,
Some places we face the problem of a say quality issues which were given to us back from as a feedback from the customer.
जी,
So as the industry, as an association, we started working on it. And we have created a mechanism where QC is not done on the product side only. It is done on the component side and on the process side. So if you have a proper QC, get it documented and implement it. Getting a world-class
absolutely.
product is not a difficult thing.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you. I traveled extensively to Japan, and
Yeah.
the way they produce quality products, so it's in the mindset, it's the in the system itself, and that is where I think we are a little bit behind many such countries. So let's now, sir, we have come to the rapid fire round stage where I will ask you some quick questions, and you can answer in one
I
word
think
or
they will be easy for me.
yes, it should be. It should be. So, my first question to you, sir, is, uh, you know, uh, uh, what is the, biggest challenge which you feel, which can define the MSME, struggle in India?
So one is the first thing is to change the mindset that MSME will close in 3 years.
Mhm.
We need to believe in MSME.
जी,
Expectations from MSME are very high, but the trust and belief is low.
जी.
The first thing we should do is we should increase our belief in MSME.
Great. One word that defines India's MSME spirit.
Entrepreneurship,
One change that can help MSME scale faster.
adoption of technology, adoption of technology, and adoption of technology.
Oh,
This is the
that's
only one
great.
word. You can say it 100 times.
Very, very powerful statement here. And that too coming from a veteran of the industry. So, I'm sure our viewers are taking note of this. A challenge that must be solved first.
Plug and play infrastructure.
Very nice.
I
A
want
myth.
to put up industry. I should not be running after
G,
the land and the shed.
absolutely. And a myth about MSMEs you want to break.
Thought majority of them will get sick in 3 years.
Yes, you said it that. You said that. One quote or belief that keeps you committed to this mission.
If a country has to reach what we are dreaming of in 2047, the only answer is MSME. Neither the turnover is going to come, neither the employment is going to come without the MSME.
Ji,
Instead of giving, we talk of employment, I will just add over there a little more. Instead of having a mindset of person seeking the job, one has to think about the person giver of the job.
ji.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you have to actually run maybe 100, 200 families rather than just thinking about running your own. So I think that thought itself changes and makes you entrepreneur. So very well said, sir. So we have come to the almost end of our discussion today. MSME, of course, drive India's resilience and deserve a simplified, supportive ecosystem. Tech plus finance plus skilling is the new growth equation. So, policy plus partnership is scalable competitiveness, and that is what I think we derive from our today's discussion. So, the takeaway message for our viewers, sir, which you would like to share with them.
Like I said before, also, MSME is not a choice. MSME is a compulsion for the country. And we can together build up a ecosystem and a society which will support each other. And definitely we'll move forward for the 2047 mission. And India will be.
Yes. Absolutely. We are all working towards it. We professionals, policymakers, and the content creators like us, we are all actually trying to sensitize people that you need to participate in this economic revolution, which will be led by MSMEs and startups, of course. And when we empower small enterprises to scale, we empower India to rise strongly, inclusively, and globally. So, Mr. Rastogi, thank you for championing India's growth engine and sharing such action-oriented perspectives. To our listeners, support MSMEs, buy local, and mentor small founders. Every scalable business today start at a small as a small enterprise, and we have seen this worldwide. People can even start at the age of 62. KFC founder started his business when he was almost at the retirement age. So there is no age limit to entrepreneurship. Any last advice from your side, sir?
One very simple word, which I was trying to say that the institutions and the bureaucracy, they need to change their mindset a little. The
I
objectives of the government, they are not far.
Absolutely. I hope everybody is listening to your very strong words, and the MSMEs who are actually gearing up to expand. I think that this is the time which where lots of opportunities there, lots of government policies are very friendly to you. So you need to take advantage of that. And of course, if little bit of red tapeism is taken off, things will move much faster. So we need to put oil to the wheel rather than putting brakes to the wheel. So I think that will lead us to the Viksit Bharat, the the global superpower which we want to be, and that is what I think we all need to work towards. So don't forget to subscribe and share our channel. This is CS Rajiv Bajaj signing off. Let's transform survival into scale and accelerate India's MSME revolution. Thank you very much, sir, for taking out
Thank you
time
so
for
much.
us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you so
on
much.
behalf of
And the
all
best
our
wishes for your
viewers.
viewers.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.